Hi, it's Steve, your veteran with PTSD travels. Just doing a quick little preamble for the videos, starting with why I'm doing it for me. This is my healing journey, and that's what it's really all about. So on that note, it's a healing journey. Let's try to keep the the negative comments, sorry, to a minimum. And if we could also avoid politics talk, that'd be great. I'm not going to answer questions about what caused my PTSD or anything like that. I'm looking to the future, not the past, which is the first step. So, yeah, why don't you follow me on my journey? Thanks. And here we are again. Been struggling since the last video. This is actually the third day. It's the third day since I wrote that, or since I recorded that last one. I've sort of come to a bit of a personal schedule. Every second day post a video. It's kind of nice. Gives me a chance to recover and not be constantly inundated in the past. It's helpful. Don't get me wrong, but I've been noticing since starting these videos, it's been helpful to how do I explain it? It's not a bad thing to be processing the past. It's not a good thing to be constantly in the past. And I was finding with the first couple videos, I was always in the past because I was always putting my mind there. And yes, it was deliberate, it was on purpose, but I didn't like how I was feeling. I felt a bit better as I spread it out to every second day do a video. And now it's been 3 days since I did a video because I just was really struggling. And yesterday was raining. I don't know if you know me well enough, but I melt. I made of sugar. And I promised not to swear on this. In fact, I will edit that out. I hope I remember to do that. I hate the rain. I'm not a fan of the rain. I'm made of sugar, and I am so not a fan. Oh, here comes a dirt bike. Let's see if they come down here and make lots of noise. Oh, that kid almost landed on his back doing a wheelie. Anyways, so there we are. That's what's going on. Super distracted. The noise out in the middle of my tranquil area, the noise has hit me already. So, just a second. Wow. I was not expecting that reaction today. Holy sh... I'm so used to being out here in the woods alone. Having, the occasional snowmobile go by is one thing. I find the motorbikes and side-by-sides are just they're on a different level. Worst part is this is a cul-de-sac, so they're coming back in a minute. Here they come. Oh my gosh. The kids are gone. It was kids on a side-by-side and a motorbike. So here's my, there you go. I don't even know where that rush of emotions came from. Actually, I know where part of it came from. Because as soon as I felt overwhelmed, I started screaming at myself in my head, obviously. How are you ever going to be back in society when you can't even handle kids going behind a motorbike? My friends ask me all the time how I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm alright. I'm here. I'm surviving. Or I'm alive. And some days it feels like that's all I can do. I'm trying to plan a little, sorry everybody. Trying to plan a little trip around Nova Scotia while I wait for the boat to sell. As you can tell, I'm having a hard time with that. I haven't been able to really, I've thought about it. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And I've just been struggling with pulling the trigger. Just doing it. And I don't know why. I'm overwhelmed. In a lot of senses, I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know where to go with this today. I'm in the sun. I'm gonna do some sun worship, I think. Although there's not much. This cloud, it's overcast. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be an effective video. I know that people have no idea what's going through someone's head when they're suffering with PTSD. I don't even know what the hell's going through my head when I'm suffering with it. I know that it's rough, and I know that it's hard. And I keep trying to push through. As people have told me, you just have to push through. I don't know, man. I'm definitely on the struggle bus. It's been really rough. I don't know what's going on. And this is... Okay, let's break that thought for a second. For those... I'm going to talk about for those that don't have PTSD and you're looking in. Your friends are going to be here. Your loved ones are going to be here where they just don't know which way is up. And hopefully they're not at the beginning of the PTSD where they're afraid and they just don't know why, and they're always on high alert, and so they're always reactive is a good way to put it. If you're always feeling like you're walking on eggshells, around a person. It's not good. Michelle said that to me a few times before she passed. I'm feeling reactive today. So I'm just going to sit in my uncomfortable for a little while. And I'm going to sit here in my uncomfortable for a little bit. Also, it won't be a difference to you, but hopefully I come back in a slightly better place. Well, that was uncomfortable. I said I was going to sit in it, and I did. The kids went by a few more times too, which helped me stay in the uncomfortable and just really come to my own. I guess I'm just reminding myself that noises aren't a bad thing. There's obviously something there with the noise or the vibration or the something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just tranquil, and like I originally thought, there was it was surprised at being at the noise. But yeah, anyways, I'm trying to travel, and I think part of it is the safety thing. And I think as I'm sitting here, as I was engulfed in my struggles down at the water side, I think I'm just going to have to pick up and leave when I'm ready. Which is, instead of trying to plan it, I've tried planning things a few times before going to Italy. Since then, being home, even trying while I was in Antigua, I was actually invited to one of the tots. It was actually at the British High Commissioner of Antigua's residence. They were having one of the tots at that residence. Apparently it's an annual thing, I think. Don't quote me on the annual part, but it may happen more than once a year, I'm not sure. I was excited to go. A good chance to get out and be out. And then all of a sudden, the day of, I couldn't. So I'm finding very hard to make plans and then stick with them. And I don't know what that's about at all. So I will work on that piece a little bit, but maybe I just need to be a little more forgiving to myself. People tell me that a lot. You need to be a little nicer to yourself. Maybe this is one of those cases where plans, I guess part of it is that I was always volunteer. I was always, a father, a husband. And when we made plans, you stuck with them. You had to stick with them. And so now I want to make plans. I'm not quite capable of making plans. And then all of a sudden I get overwhelmed. And then there's a whole bunch of guilt. And there's a whole bunch of, just from the pressures involved in making the plans. And then, then wanting to not go. I don't ditch out of all plans, but a lot of them I do. And that's its own different set of pressures and guilts. I don't know. Anyway, this isn't really... I don't know if this is a PTSD thing or not. No idea. You can send me a message, or you can comment if you think it is. I don't know. So anyways, let's get back to what I'm going to do. I want to do the little provincial tour. Part of my wanting to come home from the third trip to Antigua, which I still haven't told you about, and buying a boat. Part of my coming home from that trip was I didn't hate Canada anymore, and I wanted to come home and explore the country and the provinces and fall back in love with my country, because, you know, I used to be a very nationally centered person, very patriotic Canadian, and I'm really struggling with that now, and I want to fall back in love with, you know, it's a good country. We have a lot of problems right now, don't get me wrong, a lot of problems. I think the cost of living is going to be one of them on everyone's mind. But it's still a country that a lot of people want to come to because they have countries that are not as good. So remember that. I would, which is part of the reason that I want to go to some of these countries and just remind myself how good we do have it. Anyway, that's besides the point. So me doing this trip around Nova Scotia is sort of one of the first steps I'm hoping to get in falling back in love with Canada. I'm just struggling with leaving the house. And I think it's because I'm trying to make plans, and I don't want to leave until I make plans. I think it feels unsafe. However, I mean, I know it's not. Logic doesn't always win, unfortunately. When we were younger, Michelle and I used to do a lot of spontaneous trips and spontaneous things. You know, even shopping. Even sometimes it was we got for our honeymoon. We got married, and that weekend we decided, because we didn't have plans. I was laid off the day before our wedding, so all of a sudden we found ourselves with a lot of free time, and we decided that weekend to go to Toronto. So we got in the car and drove to Toronto. We did Toronto. We saw, you know, relatives, and then we went to Niagara Falls. Like, we just up and left. So I think that's what I'm going to have to start trying to do, because clearly making plans and trying to stick with them is causing me even more hardship. I'm struggling with that part, and I think that's one of the things that I'm struggling with, is being an unreliable person for others when I was always, you know, Mr. Reliable, I guess would be a good way to say it, right? If you called me, I was there. If you needed me, I was there. That goes for, you know, everybody. But now I'm not really capable of doing that, and I think it's just going to be me trying to sort some of that out. So instead of worrying so much about that part, maybe I need to go back to being a little more carefree Stephen. The children are older. For the most part, they are okay. Right? The friends, I mean, my friends are very understanding, and none of them want to pressure me into doing things that I can't do. So it's nothing, it's all a personal perception at this point that I need to be something. So maybe that's what I need to do, is not worry so much. Oh, there's Molly again. Maybe I need to not worry so much about being something that I'm not. Like the planner. If I can't be the planner and hold on to big plans with people for right now, well then maybe I need to stop stressing about that. Because let's face it, my first trip to Italy was fraught with not being able to go places, and then all of a sudden I made the decision to go, and it was 3 days later I was gone. It's pretty short term, right? It's pretty quick. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to up and leave one of these days. And it'll be a surprise to all of us, myself included. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I feel better thinking about it that way. So if I feel better with that, maybe that'll help. I don't know. Anyways, this is going to be a long video for not a whole lot of anything, but I feel better. Which I guess remembering to myself, this isn't about you as viewers. This is about me and how I'm healing. So this is I gotta remember that. Just because I have a camera in front of my face doesn't mean it's for anybody but me still. And honestly, I feel better than I did when I left the house. So maybe that's what I need to do. By the way, yes, it's a different hat. I'm going to show you. I know very few hats. My hair's a mess. Sorry. It has a back fully closed in. They're hard to come by. So, if anybody knows where to find good hats for a giant head, let me know. Yeah, and none of this flat bill stuff. So yeah, that's that's good. Good thing with the nose. I didn't come up with a word of the day. I was pretty oh yeah. That's today's word of the day. Overwhelmed. I find myself being overwhelmed fairly regularly. And it is something that I'm working on, not controlling, understanding. Because I don't understand yet when it happens, or why it happens, or how it happens. It's just all of a sudden, I'm really not okay. So, yeah. Today's day of the word is definitely overwhelmed or overwhelming. And, my arm's tired. I definitely find myself being overwhelmed or having overwhelming moments. And that's okay. Take the moment to process. Take the moment to, hopefully you can, separate from where you are being overwhelmed. And then take a moment, or as many moments as you need, to think about what's happening, where you are in the world. Recenter yourself, ground yourself, find your stance, and just come back to the world. That's what I did over by the lake there. It was good actually. It was none of these moments are good. They're not friendly, they're not nice, they're not kind. One thing that they are is very informative, because it allows me to work on that personal growth. I'm trying, You can see it. You can see some days I'm slipping, some I'm worse today than I was other days. This will be, or this might be my first worst day. I have no idea, right? I might only go uphill from here. But it's how you react to those moments that's going to allow me to move on and create some kind of existence. I don't know, man. Anyways, wish you all the best, and I hope that you don't get too overwhelmed today. Bye.